So we've heard just a little bit of feedback on our competitive system since we did a rework last year. And we've listened to all of it. It's important for us to hear what you all have to say. So we've been hard at work on a pretty big overhaul to it. And Gavin is here to talk us through it.
Thanks, Aaron. First, I want to tell you about our approach to improving competitive play. So, as most of you know, we have some big problems to solve. We're not transparent about how we construct our matches, how your rank is determined, or how our rewards function. Most of you have all the golden weapons you'd ever want, so giving you competitive points doesn't feel great. And since we launched Overwatch 2, we've had issues with the way players are distributed at our highest and lowest ranks. But thankfully, though, these problems make our goals pretty straightforward. We need to put more feedback in the game about every aspect of competitive that we can. We need new rewards and improved clarity around how to get them. And we need to address the pain points, things like how bad it feels to be on a loss streak.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We've heard that a lot. We've definitely heard that a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to have 14 losses.
No. So in Season 9, we're introducing a variety of changes to competitive play. First, we're removing the requirement to get 5 wins or 15 losses to get a competitive update. So, loss streaks would guarantee that you were going to rank down, so what's the incentive to keep playing if you're on one? In its place, we're adding a new page that makes your rank more transparent than ever. Let's go. We call this the competitive overview. With this new system, your rank will update after every match, win or loss. The progress bar at the bottom shows exactly how much your rank increased after this win. You can see that ranking up to Plat 5 is on the right, and ranking down to Gold 2 is on the left.
And when you hit that, so when you win a game and it hits Plat 5, you immediately rank up to Plat 5. You're not waiting extra games to do something like that. It just happens.
Yeah. So we call those green arrows below that progress bar rank modifiers. They show why your rank changed the way it did. So, since we want to be as precise as possible. So these are explained in detail by the information button on this page, but an example here is streak. This one means you ranked up even more because you're on a win streak. We'll talk about that smaller progress bar in the top right in a moment, but as you can see at the bottom, we've also added a link that takes you straight to the final scoreboard.
Yeah, and there's also a rank progress. It might be hard to read, it's a little bit small on the screen, but it's right above that bar right there. And right now it says your rank progress is 85%. So you can see you're exactly 85% of the way to the next rank. There's a lot of people, when we get feedback, a lot of people were asking us to bring SR back. It was the system that we had on Overwatch 1. And we did have a few issues with SR, and maybe like 2 of the biggest ones are, one, it was a very arbitrary number to just say you were 2374.
Arbitrary? 2374? Everybody knows what a 2374 is.
And it does, like we recognize it does take on meaning after a while for people that are playing with it. What we're hoping here is that you're Gold 1 and you're 85. You're 85% of the way through Gold 1, and that actually has more meaning for the vast majority of players. And also at the same time, the difference between a Gold 3 and a Gold 4 sometimes is it's like less than 4 wins away from each other. And so that wasn't necessarily conveyed very well through the SR system. We really like having these divisions in there, and we really want people to know precisely where they are in that division. And so that's the reason we went this way. Obviously, we listen to feedback, the system can evolve over time, but this is where it's at right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
So when we launch Season 9, we'll also be resetting ranks and bringing placements back to Overwatch 2. So this isn't a full MMR reset, but it will give you a chance to make a big change to your rank because your placements games will count for a lot more. We want to do that every year, along with some big changes to our systems and hero balance. We want to give everyone a chance to earn a new rank because we'll also be redistributing players at all ranks. Those of you in Bronze 5, Silver 5, and Silver 4 know how hard it can be to rank up in our current system, and we can fix that with the redistribution. Those of you in Grandmaster 1 also know that we have more Grandmasters than we ever did in Overwatch 1. So, as part of this redistribution, we're also adding a new rank above Grandmaster called Ultimate. We want to update our competitive rewards every year, too. So in Season 9, we'll be adding Emerald weapons. Now, this art's not final, but hopefully it gives you an idea of the types of rewards we want to add each new year.
I need those emerald Zenyatta balls. They look so cool.
Me too.
Oh my God.
So when we add Emerald weapons, we'll convert all of our current competitive points into a legacy currency that you can still spend on golden weapons if you want. But to show these off, you'll need to earn competitive points in the new season.
Yeah, and I think what's like really exciting about this, I love the new redesign, but there is this annual cadence that we are trying to bring into the competitive side in Overwatch. And I know when we first launched Overwatch 2, the seasonal reset and placement was very controversial. But this is going along with a whole set of additional rewards, a redistribution of players across the ranks. And we think that that initial set of placements now is worth it to get everything else that we've got. And it's also like a really exciting moment for players to look forward to on an annual basis.
Yeah, every 2 months was probably way too often.
Yeah.
So going back to solving our problems. We know that the competitive challenges page was really confusing, and that was the only place to see how to earn our rewards. So we're removing competitive challenges and building a new page to show progress towards seasonal rewards. We think this page is a much cleaner way to show rewards and the requirements to get them. You may have also noticed that smaller progress bar in the top right again. Instead of our old end-of-season challenges that rewarded competitive points based on your final rank, wins and losses both progress you toward big payouts of competitive points. But just like our current weekly challenges, wins grant a lot of bonus progress. And another small improvement we're going to make is showing the range of ranks in the match instead of just the average. You can see that in the top left. We're also planning a lot of bigger changes after Season 9, like with grouping in competitive, for example. We want players to be able to play with their friends, so we'll be removing most of our current grouping restrictions. To do that, though, we have to rethink how we make competitive matches. So if you're a diamond player and you want to group with your bronze friend, we'll allow that, but we'll classify your group as a wide group. You'll only play against other wide groups. And we'll try to find groups with a similar shape as yours. So if you're a diamond tank and your friend is a bronze support, we'll try to find another diamond tank and bronze support for the other team. No promises. As you probably guessed, the existence of wide groups also means we'll have narrow groups. And this is great as a solo player because you'll only ever play with narrow groups or other solos. So we expect to see some big improvements to match quality for solo players.
I'm kind of excited because I used to play Overwatch with my kids, but they're teenagers and they just started getting better than me. And my oldest ended up becoming masters, and we couldn't even group together anymore. So now with this new system, he'll have to find another excuse to not play with me.
Yeah, literal skill issue. Another win is this gives us fewer Smurfs. Since the only way to avoid our current grouping restrictions right now to play with your friends is to create new accounts. So you won't need to do that anymore.
Cool. Okay, so that's the update on the competitive system.